Hello, a very good evening to you. I'm Jo Kent. Welcome to South Today. In tonight's programme, found to be failing patients and especially children. The trust which runs hospitals in Winchester and Basingstoke is told to make urgent improvements. The trust which runs Basingstoke and Winchester hospitals has been told to make urgent improvements to its casualty departments and other services. Inspectors from the Care Quality Commission were so concerned they've imposed special conditions to make the hospitals safer. A&E didn't have enough qualified staff and resuscitation equipment wasn't always ready to use. Well, Alan Sinclair is outside the North Hampshire hospital for us tonight. And Alan, the trust has been told to pull its socks up before, hasn't it? It's estimated there are nearly 200,000 kinship carers. More than half are grandparents, with 3/4 of the children in low-income households. And more than a third say they're finding it difficult to make ends meet. As you say, there are an awful lot of families in this situation, and we know local authorities don't have any money. How on earth could we afford to pay these people?
It makes sense to invest in kinship care.
A court has been told how a Guildford GP took advantage of his position to sexually assault female patients over more than 2 decades. One patient, who was 17 years old at the time, today described how she was molested during a breast examination and it had felt creepy and horrible. Alan Tutin, who's now 70, denies all the charges against him. Joe Campbell reports from the Old Bailey. They're usually the ones enforcing attendance, but today head teachers from across the south skipped school to vent their frustration about the government's funding rules and highlight the dangers of budget shortfalls. Organised by West Sussex head teacher Jules White, more than 1,000 turned out to deliver a letter to the Chancellor. The government says there is more money going to schools than ever before. Well, let's get more on this. I'm joined by Jonathan de Summaries, who's the executive head of Romsey School, a community academy. Now, you were on this march today. How bad is the situation in your school? What cuts have you had to make?
Well, in my school, we're very fortunate. We are a large school. We're nearly 1,200. We're a successful school. And since 2010, when the austerity measures came in, we have been year on year trying to battle all the extra increases in funding that we're expected to find.
Now, you'll say that the spending per pupil has dropped in real terms, but the UK still spends the 3rd highest amount per pupil in the world. So although people always want more, isn't that a reasonably good situation to be in?
It is a reasonably good situation, and today was very much about pointing out what could happen in the future if we don't take action now. The problem we have in this country is that schools in the south are receiving significantly less per pupil than other schools in the area. So my school, for instance, in Hampshire, receives £3,000 per pupil less than other schools in the country. On my size of school, that's £3 million. I could do an awful lot of good with that £3 million.
If you look at some of those lowest funded authorities, though, Poole and Wokingham in our area are among the lowest funded, but they're also among the top performers. So isn't it more about what you do with that money rather than how much you're getting?
Of course it is, and parents should feel really proud that in the south here they've got some excellent schools.
Proposals to merge Dorset Police with the neighbouring Devon and Cornwall force appear to hang by a thread tonight because of internal disagreement. Despite initial enthusiasm for the idea, the Police and Crime Commissioner for Devon and Cornwall now says she's likely to reject the plan. Without her backing and evidence of strong public support, the merger can't happen. Well, let's get more on this and join our Home Affairs correspondent Peter Cook, who's at Ferndown Police Station tonight. Peter. Now, Buenos Aires, Sydney, Madrid, lovely hot places. And today the south matched or beat the temperatures in those sunny cities as we basked in what some are calling an Indian summer. The mercury rose to more than 22 degrees in some places. Can it really be October? Well, James Ingham has been on the trail of the sun seekers. So we saw Danny Rowe there. You said there were more bikes to come because we're going to get back in the saddle again now because it's the cycling idea which started in the capital. Boris bikes, as Londoners call them, can be rented for short urban journeys.
But 26-year-old Baz Bignell from Bournemouth is going a little bit further on one. He's cycling the 1,000 miles from John O'Groats to Land's End to raise money for Great Ormond Street Hospital. Now,
he's even taken the Boris bike through Storm Alley earlier this month. Ben Moore has been to meet him. Spicy little number there. We're liking that.
It's a shame we didn't see more.
It's great. Definitely good to give you a happy Friday feeling, isn't it? Music at the station. And more to feel good about this weekend because the weather looking quite nice.
It is indeed. Yes, we're going to enjoy.
Thanks very much, Sarah. Well, that's all from us for this evening. There's more at 10:25. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
Good night.
Bye-bye.